You know, French voters will decide who will be our opponent. But if we follow the polls, it should be Marine Le Pen. She's leading every poll since 2 years now. And even if the polls are not that good for her right now, she is still a very strong competitor.
Populism in France, and it's difficult to define, but we kind of know what we're talking about when we use the term. You have Marine Le Pen, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, you've got another 7 or 8 candidates who you would describe as in the same vein as one of those two. Their support adds up to 50%, half the French population, doesn't it? Why is that?
The main issue, I think, is unemployment. We have a 10% rate of unemployment in France. We have 9 million people under the poverty level right now, and people just want to get rid of them, want to get rid of the usual solution that the Conservative and the Labour Party in France proposed to them since 30 years.
And those two main parties, we should remind everybody, are doing very badly in the polls when it comes to this particular election. But your candidate, Emmanuel Macron, is painting himself as the change candidate. Your candidate, the change candidate, has worked for the Rothschilds, and he's worked for François Hollande. I mean, this guy can't exactly say,
He went to the top French school, of course, so he knows the system from inside. What he did, and he took a huge risk when he launched his movement. I mean, nobody had never done that before in France. Because usually, if you want to run for president, you start by being a congressman for 10 years or 15 years. You find a territory where you can be elected, where people vote for you as a mayor, then for you as a congressman, or maybe as a senator. Then you are allowed to run for president.
Should the British be scared of Macron winning this election? Because he is the most pro-European of the major candidates, and to some extent maybe the least sympathetic to a country that is trying to negotiate its withdrawal.
He visited Theresa May in last February, and you know, he respects the votes of the British people. And as your Prime Minister says, Brexit means Brexit. So you need to have not a punitive approach of Brexit for sure, but a responsible and a clear one.
A responsible and a clear one. But obviously what we want, or what the British are seeking in these negotiations, is kind of access to bits of the single market and the customs union. Is that?
Well, to access the single market, you need to have a full freedom of movement, and you need to pay a financial contribution to the EU budget. These are the two basic rules. And so
that, I think, is telling me that you are going to be quite hard on the British.
We can work.
It's exactly the answer that
we can work on, of course, long-term agreements with the UK. I mean, France and UK remains two close friends, and we will have to work probably on strategic issues and defense, intelligence matters.
I did want to just finish on security. Clearly, another incident in Paris. Does that do you think it has an effect on the election? An election in which people are feeling scared of change, potentially feeling that the country is in the wrong direction. Do you think when there are attacks of any kind, it plays to Marine Le Pen?
I mean, of course it takes a certain place in this election. Of course, we all have in mind these images of Nice on the 14th of July and so on. But I think that when you have a responsible agenda on terrorism, French people are also responsible people. They don't want their liberties, their civil rights to be abolished in the name of fighting terrorism or so on. We are very much attached to our liberties and our civil rights.
Benjamin Griveaux, thanks very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.